Now, I already know what people are going to say. People are going to say, "Oh, this is a bullshit fight. Why is Cotto fighting this fight?" Truth be told, I support this fight. You know, for one, I support it because it's going to be on regular HBO, not regular not HBO pay-per-view, and also it's going to be, you know, what's supposed to be the build-up, you know, to see him against Juan Manuel Marquez on pay-per-view, likely in the fall. Tissue Controversy. This is Tissue Controversy Live. Miguel Cotto is heavily rumored to be facing a Japanese fighter, Yosihiro Kamegai. You know, he is 27-3-2 with 24 KOs. You may most notably remember him for being Robert Guerrero's first fight back after fighting Floyd Mayweather on Showtime back in June of 2014. Then he fought a fighter by the name of Oscar Godoy, Alfonso Gomez, in which he lost to, you know, Nelson Glupe in Japan. Then he had those two highly exciting fights with Jesus Soto Karass. The one was a split decision, and where a lot of people felt that Kamegai won. And then the second fight, he ended up getting the stoppage, you know, against Soto Karass in that rematch, which took place about 5 months later. Now, basically, to describe Kamegai, he's a very good pressure fighter with a solid chin. However, he's a bit one-dimensional, but at the same time, he's a pressure fighter. So therefore, you know, with those 27 wins, those 24 KOs, he's always a threat. Now, one thing for sure is Miguel Cotto needed a fight. Miguel Cotto hasn't fought since he fought Canelo over a year ago. What was that, December? Or was that November of 2015? He didn't fight none in 2016. One of the reasons why was because he was guaranteed $15 million for his next fight. But from my understanding, something was worked out to whereas from the fight Kamegai, he may get somewhere between about $2 million or so, something like that. I don't want to get into the math because none of it's confirmed yet. But basically, they put this fight in there just to keep him active. And also, the fight's supposed to take place on June the 24th, likely in the Barclays Center. And will be playing with the replay of Rigondeaux versus Flores and Ward versus Kovalev 2. So when it comes to June 24th, you have Ward versus Kovalev 2, the rematch, Cotto versus Kamegai, and Rigondeaux versus Flores, you know, as the HBO replay. So it's also a heavy chance that that WBO title could be on the line. Canelo is expected to vacate that WBO title after the Chavez fight, like immediately after, which is taking place May the 6th. You had Liam Williams versus Liam Smith over in the UK a month ago, by the way. Liam Smith, former WBO champion that lost to Canelo. They were fighting for that WBO interim, but Liam Smith couldn't make weight, so therefore he lost his chance to win the title on the scales, even though he got the win over Liam Williams via a stoppage of a cut, corner stoppage of a cut. So that WBA interim title is still vacant, and with Canelo planning to vacate, or heavily rumored to vacate the WBO title, then you have basically, you know, the WBO 154-pound title is going to be vacant. So since Cotto has some clout with the WBO, and the WBO would love to get those sanctioning fees, and the WBO would love to sanction Miguel Cotto versus a Juan Manuel Marquez, of course, if he beats Yosihiro Kamegai, you know, it all depends on if Juan Manuel Marquez will back away from his stance and not want Cotto to come to 147 pounds. One of the reasons why the fight didn't happen in the past is because we've been hearing about it for well over a year now, is because not only does Juan Manuel Marquez need some type of tune-up fight, which he's working on, but also he wanted to not move anywhere above 147 pounds. He didn't even want to do 148. You see what I'm saying? Against Miguel Cotto. So you somewhat have two diva-ish type fighters, you know, going at it as far as, you know, negotiations are concerned. But some interesting news came out over the last couple of weeks is that it may seem that Juan Manuel Marquez may be having a little bit of money issues. I'm not saying that he's broke or anything like that, but some news came out that he held a press conference because he lost some money from Chase. I think it was like $2.3 million or so. So he may be trying to replace that. And he hasn't officially retired yet, but also he's been having some knee issues. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get you a quick update on that. Here's what's going on. As you can tell, I'm getting to more boxing events now. Right now on my personal schedule is this weekend, Berto versus Porter. In May, I'm going to be at Crawford versus Diaz. Me personally, we're covering all kind of fights too, as far as the other correspondents that I have. So for this month, April, I'm going to be at Berto versus Porter. May, I'm going to be at Crawford versus Diaz. In June, I'm still deciding on if I'm going to go to Ward versus Kovalev, but also that next week after Ward versus Kovalev 2 is supposed to be this fight. So I haven't decided which one I'm going to yet. I understand that you may say, oh, well, you know, go to the Vegas one, go to Ward Kovalev 2. You got to. It's not that. It's not that simple. I mean, it's simple because I would just go and get a plane ticket, go out there for just a day, maybe a day and a half. But, I don't want to get into the politics of it right now. But if Cotto does fight Yosihiro Kamegai, I support the fight because, it's like a stay busy fight. Even though I know Cotto is not really in it to be a champion again. He's more so, fighting for money. And this could be his last year in boxing, if not 3 fights. I would say 3 fights. Yosihiro Kamegai, Juan with Marquez, and somebody probably next year in like June or something. That could be his last fight. You also have Austin Trout, who has been lobbying to get that fight. If it's not Yosihiro Kamegai. Truth be told, I would like to see Cotto versus Austin Trout again, even though, Austin Trout would probably be trying to command too much money because of the rematch, and then he would probably want to be A-side, politically. If Austin Trout wanted that fight, he would have to concede to Cotto, even if, he beat Cotto. It's just the way, the business is, But I'm Teacher Controversy. This is Teacher Controversy Live. As soon as more news comes out, I will be sure to let you know. Please subscribe.